Okay, and we're right now. I went twice over this Lamed Vav because it had so many ideas that seem to me that they're just like it's like Roshi Tevos. Like he says something, it has to be further developed. So what we're actually looking at is trying to understand this letter Yud, but it means like its very first, let's say, appearance in physicality. So lesikon, we're at this word lesikon in the second column. So in conclusion, me who owes Yud Elah? That's a good question. What is this Yud? And he puts the word Elah on it. He means the beginning Yud, where we first see it. I think that's what he means. He says, Yeshnam Kama Bi'urim. One is the Shari Maimari Rashbi. So where we're looking over here, who Kruma Devira. So the Yud really refers to the Kruma Devira. We place this Kruma Devira in lots of different places. Or maybe not in lots of different places, but it's also underneath the Muchstimah, like that. So some ideas like that. Number base. The Shar Mamari Rashbi. So this is according to the second Pirush. He says, Hu Muchstimah. It is the Muchstimah. The Yud is the Muchstimah. Yud goes with Chochmah, like that. Number Gimel is Shar Mamari Rashbi, but B'kom Secherim Hu Abba. So he says there's another place where he says, that it refers to Abba. Now, that's a lot of trouble with this one, unless he means like like the beginning concept of Abba. But he says Abba, which would be for the neck area, which is the area where there is beard, and like that. V'chein Chu b'Hadras Melech also said the same shame. Efsher, so he says Efsher. Dahaina Abba v'Ima Eloyin. He's talking about that's that Yud. Rabbi Aros, and he has some Aros on that. We'll go look at this real briefly. Number Lamed Zion down below, because there's a lot of arichos coming up on this. Not necessarily that easy either. Let me see if I can get a focus here a little bit better. So he says, Rei b'cha'aras the should move of the nusach seifach at Roshim. I don't remember that word, Khan. And he said, Yud Elah Hainu Abba ve'ima. V'chein ku girsas Hadras Melech, Khan. So Khan b'sifra hod hamelach. He said v'chein ku b'hagol b'silch nefus Salzbach, Khan. V'nizbar b'ha'aru sham dahainu Abba ve'ima Elah, and in the koyim Abba the Klalos. Okay, the divine who called them nechlalim ba'os yud, because both of them, this yud really refers to Abba ve'ima Elohim, which are called Abba the Klalos. The shem gubaya ayin sham v'chein bir v'ferish sulam kan. We'll see some the sulam a little bit. Lefi darko ayin sham. Okay, so he went that way. That was number Lamed Zion. After Lamed Zion, up at the bottom, he said number Daled. He has four, and here's the four. This looks 6 or 7 of these. He says a Daled the or Yakar Iker Os Yud Elah Hu Mochos Timah. So someone else said that. The Nechlal Bo Gam Gulgolta, and in the Mochos Timah he also puts to get that together. I don't know, with the concept of the skull of Gulgolta, of real super panemius. So Kutz Elyon the Yud. Oh, this is the one where he divided up the Yud. So he said that it really represents the very top part, which would be related to the Gugolta. Now, how that has to work with the Mochos Timah, because I understood that the Avira, the Kruma Devira is. Okay, we have different understandings. So let me go on. The Gugolta besod Kutz Elyon the Yud. The Kruma de Avira, and we get to the Kruma de Avira, besod Kutz Tachton. So then he says, that's it. So then we are dividing it up that way. Number Hey is in the Alpha Shah, who he says is Yudin D'Shem Ab de Gugolta, Shuhu Reisha Elah. So he wants to say the Yudin has to do with the concept of Av, Shuhu Reisha Elah. So I'm not sure exactly where he got the Av from, because we have that concept of Sag, which has 3 Yudin in it, and each one of the Yudin has an Av in it. which makes up the beard, which is really forms the beard. Very difficult, needs a lot of hesber there. Number vav is the bira gra. What is the bra? Shorsha ba'avir, that the root of the letter yud is in the concept of this avir. Umisgalach bekruma devira, and where is the avir noted? It's seen in the kruma devira. Number zayin. L'zohar Yochai hu yudin d'shem sag davira. So that's that idea. Shekol gimel shemus av the yudin, that has within it kolel. I guess he means incorporates in it 3 avs. Now that's an av sag. Okay, I don't know, or a sag av. But that to me is a little bit beyond me. So exactly what he meant. Let's go on. V'niskam gam malchu inyan kitra da'atika. So here's another word that was used around a lot. That's one of the words. The yeshdam kama bi'urim. So this word kitra da'atika. Atika always refers to Eric Anpin. So he says Keter is, he writes, Aver hayotzim emochas timor. So what it is a vapor. He calls it an air. And maybe in that way we can understand what, and it was vague, but he's trying to push it, that the word or and the word letter, putting the letter yud in it, makes the word avir. So he says Keter has to do with that avir. Hayotze b'mochas timor derek kruma davira, which comes out of the hayotze me mochas timor. It has to go through this entity called the kruma davira. Rabbi Sharma Mari Rosh Bechanal. V'ha'arasham, re'gam b'ha'aras the bir ha'mashula the b'shem Yonis Elim, Pirish Ramaz, that's number 1. Number 2 is Lashon Kasher. So Kitra could also be like the word Ketoras. So he says it's a kind of a binding. So Kasher Ishtal Shlush Kol HaTzilus B'Gulgalta de Eric Anpin. Let's read these words again. He said, besod kasher, the binding. Now, shtalshlus means like the development downwards of all of its silus, begugolta, inside of the gugolta, the erikanpen. So the binding, I think he means the binding force is there. That's where it starts. There's a binding force. Rabbi or Yochai, he says, that's it. Now, number gimel, the Gir says, Svar Macherim, he says, at itra d'atika, that the word itra, now, this word was kitra, not itra. But itra datiku bir b'yafashash hu b'chinas keser, which is a concept of a Torah. So kitra is really another spelling. I'm not exactly what he said, but he wants to say that it's a concept of a Torah, the Eric Anpin, Einsham. Okay, so now we go into this new section. So we saw all different kinds of ideas of where, obviously it's not definitive, it's not absolutely understood where this concept of the original yud comes from. I think that's what he means. Now we'll talk about the hey. Hey, Lord, is atar berucha de nukva de bardashka. Now you once again have this word atar. So he says, hey, Lord, that is crowned or surrounds berucha. It surrounds the rucha of the nukva de bardashka, of the openings, that is the nostrils of the nose. So number gimel, he says, bebir hemshech mayim b'chasifra de tzeniutakan. He says, hey Elor, des ate berucha de nukvin de bardashka. Now it makes it sound like that it surrounds this rucha that comes out of the nostrils of the nose. That's so I think the translation is. Rei bebir hameshula defi Arizal, shen is baral pi eitz chayim v'chashecha berucha bekodev v'chashecha gedamos is a very prestigious, deep places. The oz hey ilo hu etzem neke v'chotem. It is what the essence of the openings of the nose. The neke v'chotev, and then the nostril itself, who hamisater beruach, it therefore surrounds the ruach ha'elyon ha'over b'nikva ha'chotem, which is going to pass through that. Now let's see. So he says, So that's what it is, surrounding. V'yotzech and Bina shebekeser ayin sham, and it comes out of the Bina of Keter. Now, that's how high up this appearance is, inside of Keter, in the Bina of Keter. Okay, we'll go on to number bet. He says in the Or Yakar, in the old Yakar here, I think we have some, let's see, there is some arichos here, there's a big arichos in there. He said, look over here in the Or Yakar, Shabir Kanda Oz He HaElyon, is Bina HaElyon is also the upper Bina. So previously he had the idea of Bina of Keter, the Hainu, and then he says, what is this? He says, the Hainu Metzach de Erikanpen. Where did this come from? I don't think I ever heard that the Bina had to do with the Metzach of Erikanpen. So he said, so how does it work? Is it because there's, it's one of the, I don't know. Because normally the Bina of Erikanpen himself is in the throat. But here we're talking about the Bina of the Keter of Erikanpen. And he says that Bina, the Hainu HaMetzach de Erikanpen. Barucha, and it covers over, surrounds, Barucha hayotze b'muchas, winds up covering over, what he say? There's a ruach that comes out of the muchas timor. Through this metzach, nimshach harucha ad nikve hachoitim, this ruach extends down into the opening, the nostrils, Kedei lahachyo zer v'nuk ayin sham, and the purpose of that is to bring life force into zer and the nuk. And that's it for today. And so tomorrow we're going to go in and see, with God's help, this arichos and try to understand it better. Kol tov.